Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of the WT Coaches Show. Leading off this weekend for us is baseball head coach Matt Vanerburg. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing well, Zach. How are you?
Doing well. Coach, since we saw you last, you hosted Eastern New Mexico this weekend. Ended up getting a 3-0 sweep starting with a Friday night win, 15-5-7.
Yeah, I thought we set the tone really well this weekend. We had been on a little bit of a slide, a 4-game losing streak, and we talked all week about how important it was to come out strong, and we were able to do that, put up 7 runs in the first inning and then 4 in the second inning, and it was up 11-0, and we were able to get Brooks Trujillo out of the game then and bring him back to start Game 3. So that was huge for us. It really set the tone for us for the weekend, and I was really proud of the guys the way they came out.
And then on Saturday, they faced Eastern again in a doubleheader. Got the first game 5-3, and then the second game 3-0.
Yeah, our pitchers did a really good job, and then offensively we were sound. Was able to get the enough runs across. Didn't think we swung it great on Saturday, but we did enough to win some games. But our pitching staff did an outstanding job. Austin Moore did a great job, and then Kyle Tenius on the day got 2 saves, saving both game, and set the school record that Paul Lujan set last year. So Tenius was able to break that with his 12th and 13th save of the year, and Brooks Trujillo was great this weekend. I mean, it was shows his senior leadership. Started Game 1 through 25-30 pitches around in there, and then came out in Game 3, wanted the ball again. We didn't know if we were going to start him or bring him out of relief, but he really wanted his start for the weekend, get a chance to win and stuff, and was expecting him to probably go 5-6 innings max, and I think he threw 7 scoreless innings and did an outstanding job for us, gave us a really good chance to win the ball game, and that was great to see out of him.
Coming into this weekend, you also got a healthier baseball team once again, with Trace Hansen coming back, as well as Josh Day had making a return earlier. And how was that?
Yeah, it's great to have those guys, just their senior leadership in the middle of the order. Those guys are special kids. We love having them on our team. Obviously, Trace Hansen comes back from a broken hand in 3 weeks. Josh Day came back after 4 weeks, and we've really missed those guys. I thought we've survived without them. But now that they're back in the lineup, they're still not 100%. Obviously, they hadn't seen live pitching, in a long time. So I think they'll continue to get better. That's why it was so good to see Trace back in there this weekend, because now he had 2 weekends before the conference tournament to see live pitching, and and he's not 100% with his hand. Neither is Day, but they're going to battle through it. I mean, this is their senior year, and anytime they can play, they're going to get out there and give us their all. And those guys are just the example of the type of guys that we love to have around on our team.
And then coming up for you guys this weekend, you'll have senior weekend, and you'll host Texas A&M Kingsville, who has a 3-1 series lead right now. And again, it's still a tight battle for that LSC race.
Yeah, excited to have Kingsville in at home. It's going to be a big weekend. Every weekend's big, but this one, obviously, they're a really good team. They're sitting ahead of us in the regional rankings right now, so that's kind of what we're looking at right now. I mean, the regional rankings, are really important. We want to make a regional tournament, and if we hopefully take care of business this weekend against them and play well, that'll set us up well for the regional tournament. But on top of that, we have 13 great seniors that I've really enjoyed having the last 2 or 3, 4 years. It's going to be sad to see those guys go, but what they've accomplished is second to none. I mean, we love having those guys, and it's going to be great to honor those guys on Saturday.
Coach, I'd like to thank you for joining us, and good luck this weekend.
All right, thank you for having me.
Hello everyone and welcome back to this week's edition of the WT Coaches Show. Next for us is head softball coach Kavin Blaskowski. Coach, how are you?
Doing very well, thank you.
Well, Coach, since we saw you last, you hosted the Lone Star Conference Championship over at Schaefer Park. You ended up beating Angelo State 6-5 in the second semifinal in extra innings. Always a fun ball game when those two see each other.
It's probably become one of the best Division II rivalries in softball, and it's always a great game. Coach Scott and his team are always ready to play, and our kids are ready to play, and it was kind of an instant classic per se, because we jumped out to a lead, they came back and took a lead, and then we tied it back up, and then both pitchers kind of settled down, and we kind of locked in there for a couple of extra innings, and then what can you say about a kid like Ashley Harden, who steps up to the plate and big situation and hits a walk-off home run for us. So that was, exciting to say the least. It was awful late Friday night by the time we got done, but it was a great softball game, and two really good programs, and the way it's supposed to be played in the postseason.
And then after that, on Saturday, you guys took on Texas Women's for the LSC Championship and ended up taking an early lead and kind of held on to it for the majority of the way as you took a 9-3 win in that one.
Yeah, that again, we just saw Texas Women's last weekend in conference play, and fortunate enough to take 4 from them at their place, but they were all very good games. And again, we jumped out early with the quick lead in the first inning. Shay and Ashley both hit home runs in that first inning to put us out 3-0, and we just kept adding to it, and they cut the lead down there for a little bit, but we pushed it back out. And I thought Kylie Halbert was outstanding. She threw some pretty solid innings for us on Friday night before we brought Tori in, and she came back Saturday and hadn't been feeling well lately, and I thought she just came back and threw a great ball game. They did score 3 runs, but they were all unearned, and it's great to have her throwing the way she is right now.
And then coming up next for you guys, we just on Monday morning saw the turnout for South Central Regional Championship Tournament. Once again, will be held here at Schaefer Park, and the first team you'll see is Metro State.
Yeah, it looks like it's 3 great teams coming to town later today. We'll be starting our practices and getting ready for the tournament to start tomorrow, and it's it should be a great draw. Metro State was here earlier in the year for our tournament, and they had us down 6-1 early, and we had to come back and make a late game rally to beat them. So they're very talented. They won the RMAC, and then you've got Colorado Mesa, who comes in as the 5 seed, who was the regular season champion of the RMAC, and a very talented ball club. And then you've got Texas A&M Commerce, who we lost to at their place earlier in the year, and they bring a very talented group in, and Coach Brewster will have his bunch ready to play. So should be a great regional event. We're excited. It looks like the weather's going to be great. We need huge crowds. We need Buff Nation to continue to come out and support. They were great at the Lone Star Conference Championship, and we need them to come out and really support us starting tomorrow night.
Coach, I'd like to thank you for joining us, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this week's edition of the WT Coaches Show. Next for us is head track and field coach Darren Flowers. Coach, it's been a while since we've seen you last.
Yeah, doing well.
And
it's been a busy season.
Yeah, and since we've seen you guys, about 3 or 4 meets since then, and how things looked so far?
It's gone pretty well. Riley Caputin, she's really stepped up, and she's ranked nationally now in 3 events, so we're excited about her, and I think she's going to make an impact at the national level, which is great. But we've had some really great performances in sprints and distance events, and I think we positioned ourselves well so far, especially on the women's side. I think on the men's side, we still have a few guys that need to punch their ticket and get in the national championship, and we're going to use the Lone Star Conference as a springboard to do that too. It always is. It's always great competition.
And coming up next for you guys is Lone Star Conference Championship down in Stephenville. What are things that you look forward to doing besides punching the tickets to nationals?
Well, we want to try to come out of that championship having as many individual performers, individual champions as possible, because that's big points. But we're going to put some people in some different events and try to mix it up and score as many points as we can. I mean, on the men's side, it's very, very deep. All the teams are very good, and so the points will be really spread out. But on the women's side, I think it'll be us and Angelo going after it, and they're very strong. They're very deep in a lot of events, and I think it's going to be tough for us. We have to have some big performances and have some things go our way for the women to pull it out, which, that's how track and field is. You can be really good at the national level, and then at the conference level, you got to fill in some gaps. But that's just the way it is, and we're gonna try to perform to the best of our ability and see what happens at the end of the day.
And with this weekend's meet opposed to other meets, what are things that you guys are looking at with who you place in what events and how many events they participate in, so on and so forth?
Well, you got to look at the time frame of the whole meet. How many events you're putting kids in? Can they recover? Can they come back? And so you have to kind of strategically say, all right, where can we score points? Where can we maximize the points that this particular kid is going to score, and in what events? And so it's and you don't know what the other teams are going to do. So it's really a chess game when you talk about placing people in championships, especially our conference championship. But it's a lot of fun.
And after that, the following weekend, you will host the regional championship, and it'll be right here on campus.
Yeah, it's something we were trying to get started. We call it our South Central Regional Challenge. We want to try to get as many regional teams as we can here in Canyon to try to compete at a high level and use it as a last opportunity to qualify for the national championship. And we'll see how it goes this first year. I know we're going to have at least 5 or 6 teams here that are of high quality, and hopefully it just keeps growing.
And, out of at least how you've seen so far, who do you see as the biggest challenge with that?
Well, I mean, the main objective for that meet is not necessarily to win it as a team. It's really about trying to bring together the best competition to give our kids the opportunity to qualify for the national championship. That's really the biggest challenge, is getting great competition here. And I don't necessarily care who it is. I don't care if they come from California. I don't care if they come from the East Coast. I don't care. But I want to try to get some of the best teams in Division II here in Canyon so we can create a great opportunity for our kids.
Coach, I'd like to thank you for joining us, and good luck in the following weeks.
All right, thank you.
I'd like to thank you for joining us this week on the WT Coaches Show for the WT Sports Network. I'm Zach Lawrence. See you next week.